Who should get the COVID-19 vaccine first? The province answered that question with its rollout plan this week. But not everyone is happy with the priority list. Meanwhile, Premier Scott Moe also stirred some discontent when he said this.
Now listen, it's easy for some to stand up and say, we need to lock everything down when they have the opportunity to work from home. The fact of the matter is thousands of people in Saskatchewan do not have that opportunity.
To break down the week in politics, we're joined by Adam Hunter. He covers politics for us here at CBC Saskatchewan. Hello, Adam.
Hi, Fiona.
Well, Adam, that comment ruffled some feathers this week. What more can you tell us about what Premier Moe had to say?
Yeah, that comment was made on Monday at the Municipalities of Saskatchewan annual convention. Moe speaking online to the delegates. He made that comment during that speech, and after that got a lot of attention online from many, some supporting what Premier Moe said, others voicing their opposition to it. And Premier Moe, a couple of days later, said to reporters that he wasn't meaning to disparage anyone in particular, specifically frontline workers, essential workers who may have been offended by that comment, or people that are working from home. He said it wasn't painting them with a big brush. But a select few who he wouldn't name who have been criticizing him for his pandemic policy and calling for more restrictions. It seems at this point that more restrictions are unlikely given that the numbers are going down. That doesn't seem to be the direction we're heading. But still, Fiona, a lot of reaction to that comment about people being able to work from home and making criticisms of the government. And Moe didn't completely walk those back or take them back by any stretch, but he did say he wasn't meaning to disparage certain people who may be critical of his policies.
All right, so let's move on to the highly anticipated vaccine plan. What is the province doing?
Yeah, so we heard that phase 2 of the vaccine plan. We know phase 1, which we're currently in, is vaccinating people that are over 70, people in long-term care, staff there, as well as some frontline healthcare workers. Now, we got details of phase 2. That's the province-wide, wide-scale vaccination plan. And it's not going to be as specific or targeted as maybe some were expecting. It's going to go in age increments, starting with 60 to 69 and then moving down in 10-year increments. The government says that's the most effective way to use the vaccine, get it out to the most people, especially with limited supply. They say people over the age of 60 are the most critical in need of getting a vaccine because they face the most negative outcomes. By the statistics, when we see hospitalizations and deaths, they are coming to people over the age of 60 more than they are to people under that age. Criticism, though, coming in, as you mentioned, Fiona, to the vaccine plan, and some of this is due to a original plan or an earlier plan that was put out to some doctors and physicians that showed that more healthcare workers would be part of a phase 2A/B. That was scrapped by the government. We're not completely sure why that decision was made, but a lot of healthcare workers, the Saskatchewan Medical Association, the Nurses Union coming out and saying the government should be protecting healthcare workers, making them a priority in this phase 2 or even in phase 1. And yesterday, Premier Moe said that they're going to look at some revisions in phase 1 that may include more healthcare workers, but he did caution that it won't include all healthcare workers. Other groups like police and teachers wanting to be made a priority, but it looks to, as of right now, Fiona, that they'll have to wait until their age comes up when they get the vaccine. Dr. Shahab also saying that it wasn't an easy decision, that none of this is easy, but it made the most sense to do it by age, and that would be the simplest way to do it.
Well, we saw so many changes this week. What can we expect next week?
The thing for people to keep an eye on is our current restrictions expire as of February 19th, so a week from today. And typically the government will announce either a renewal of the restrictions or loosening or tightening restrictions a few days before that to give people a heads up. And we'd expect that early in the week. We know the holiday Monday is coming up, so most likely Tuesday or Wednesday we'd hear about what will happen with the restrictions. And I think just listening to Scott Moe this week, he seemed to be signaling that people are hoping for maybe a loosening of restrictions if the numbers go down significantly. He said those that are asking for an opening up of the economy and opening up of restrictions, that's too dangerous right now because we still have a high number of COVID cases, higher than we're comfortable with. And so I think a couple of things to keep an eye on is whether in the next week or so we see maybe family bubbles expanding. Premier Mo mentioning hockey and kids activities. He's hearing a lot of feedback on people wanting to get that going more. So that's a couple of things, aspects to look out for. I don't know if we'll hear that next week, but down the line when we get cases going down more significantly than we are now, we may see that on the horizon. Fiona?
Thank you so much, Adam. Adam Hunter covers politics for us here at CBC Saskatchewan.